Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Happy MonsterCast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy MonsterCast, the newly named Legion of Liberty takes to the seas in the Siege of New York. Previously on the Happy MonsterCast, the Continental Army has recruited a squad of superhumans to fight the British regulars. French and Indian Wars veteran Elijah Allen, Master of Mind Control. Artemis Crow, Invisible Assassin. Petanoat, the Wampanoag Swamp Monster. Clara Washington, Super Soldier. And Victoria Spellman, the Human Cannon. This team now has a name. The Legion of Liberty. All right, so since you guys managed to pull off a win at Bunker Hill, the British had to bug out of Boston a lot sooner than they were planning, which meant that they left a lot of stuff behind. And as a result, they pulled out and headed north to Canada, but New York City was vulnerable. And so you get a message to report to this guy you sort of kind of have heard of. Some of you have definitely heard of him, like Elijah. This is a name you definitely recognize. But there's this guy, George Washington, and he's apparently been put in command of the Continental Army. And so he calls you in to his camp in Connecticut, where he is besieging New York City. And he says, "Gentlemen and ladies, I understand that I have you to thank for the rapid British abandonment of Boston, and therefore this opportunity we have to seize New York and deny the British yet another strategic harbor. Unfortunately, our cordon around the city is incomplete, and some supplies and troops are still making it into New York to keep the British in food and ammunition. We need to disrupt this flow of supplies, and for that reason, I am asking you to formally enlist in the Continental Army and then to join the sloop Tyrannicide and reinforce the blockade of the city. Mr. Allen, you would be appointed to the rank of sergeant, and the rest of you to the rank of corporals as a starting point. And then promotion, of course, would be based on your merit and achievements in combat."
Fantastic. I won't let you down.
Excellent. I've heard your name in the context of the 7 Years' War, and believe that you will be an asset, as will the rest of you, to this newly formed Continental Army. My adjutant will see that you have uniforms and are formally signed in, and your initial pay delivered. You'll find Captain Fisk at the harbor, and my adjutant will direct you there as well to join the Tyrannicide. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
What's the Tyrannicide's first mission to be?
The Tyrannicide will be patrolling Long Island Sound, attempting to intercept smugglers who are bringing supplies into New York City. All right, so the adjutant hooks you up with some snazzy Continental Army uniforms.
Right.
I'm not wearing that. I'm not wearing that.
Oh, the adjutant sort of looks nonplussed. Oh, very well, sir. The uniform is, of course, not compulsory for individuals of your persuasion, and of course, for the ladies as well, the uniform is not compulsory.
Well, that's good, because my persuasion is not very good.
All right, so
I look. I'm going to have a scowl on my face at the fact that you guys are being difficult.
You note that the uniforms themselves are a little bit unique. All right, so the Tyrannicide itself is a sloop of war, probably a converted East India trader, and
How many guns?
18 guns.
Wow.
What poundage?
Mostly 6-pounders, a couple of long 9s in the midships. So not exactly going to go toe to toe with the cream of the Royal Navy, but not too badly off.
I guess 6-pounders will be okay against smugglers.
All right, so you come on board, and the ship itself, you see that the captain comes to greet you. John Fisk, pleased to meet you all. Which of you is in command?
That'd be me, sir.
And you are?
I am Elijah Adams. Nice to meet you.
Ah, yes. Pleased to meet you, Sergeant Allen. We'll be sailing with the tide. You'll have about an hour. My bosun will see you to quarters below. And so the bosun leads you down below decks to an area that's been curtained off with your own set of 5 hammocks ready to go. And you notice some muttering from the sailors. There is a well-known superstition about having women on board, so they're not entirely thrilled about that, but they're rolling with it.
I keep a low.
I'd also like notice rolls from you all as you're moving in.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay. So
I remember.
you all notice as you're going through a rather striking looking black man. Yeah, kind of tall, kind of tough, and he sort of looks at you. And what's noticeable about him is, unlike the rest of the sailors who are kind of curious looking, like, who are these people? This guy looks flat out afraid. And, he quickly ducks down to the orlop deck out of the way of you guys. Like, he doesn't really want to deal with you.
That fella. Someone.
Afraid of us because we're superhuman, do you think?
Hard to say.
I don't
You'd
know.
have to track him down and try to...
I would suggest that one of our envoy go check him out.
do you have someone in mind?
Who was closest to me? Would it be? I would send either like Pet Know It or Artemis Pro if they're close to me. If
I can.
not, I would send.
My persuasion is a D6. I can talk to him.
Okay, let's go see what's going on with that man. If he's a man of suspicion, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. So, but he ducked down below decks real quick, so I follow him, not making a big deal about being sneaky or anything. I mean, I've got a perfectly good right to be here, so I'm not going to be, weird about it or anything. So I go down and I try to find him.
Okay. So you can locate him without too much trouble. It's not a very large ship. And he sort of looks your way and kind of tries to busy himself, but you're pretty sure what he's doing is make work rather than something he's actually supposed to be doing.
Okay. What's his uniform? What's his rank?
He looks like a common sailor.
Okay. So I'm a corporal in the Continental Army. So that would make me what, like a Marine here on the ship?
More or less, yeah.
Okay. So I go up to him and I say, good morning, shipmate.
Morning. You have business down here on the orlop deck?
Fresh aboard and familiarizing myself with the ship and its crew. Have we met?
Don't think we've met. No.
It's strange because when we came on board, I could have sworn that, there seemed to be some sign of recognition in you. I'm almost sure that I don't recall your face, but you seem to have knowledge of me and my companions.
Just that you folk are some of those superhumans that Washington's got working for him now.
Well, yes, that is, our task. We are working towards a common goal. How do you feel about us?
Well, I don't rightly think you're natural.
I see. Oh, and would you say that that's a problem? I'm trying to be as non-confrontational, just sort of very, kind of mild and neutral.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Not great, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Says he sort of turns his back on you and says, I have business to attend to, and he goes to the stern of the ship and goes up the ladder to the gun deck.
Okay. as I was talking to him, did I notice? I mean, because up on deck it looked like fear. Did I notice hostility or anger or animosity down here, or is it continue just like sort of discomfort and fear?
It seemed more discomfort and fear.
Okay. All right. Well, I go back upstairs or back up to the deck and report back to everybody and say, well, the man seems curiously prejudiced against our kind.
Right, we just keep an eye on him then. Go about throwing this.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't seem like he was, like there was some kind of a threat involved. He just doesn't seem to like us and, doesn't appreciate us being around.
That's an understandable fear amongst people without the power that we have.
Well, we're all fighting towards the same goal, so hopefully we'll be able to win hearts and minds.
Yep. So you hear the captain yelling from up on deck, "Weigh anchor! Cast off the jolly boat! Prepare to kedge out!"
Alrighty.
Sounds like we're close.
And so the captain comes over to where you're standing on deck and says, "Do try to stay out of the way of the sailors. I know you can handle yourself. I have a nephew who fought Leslie's men at the North Bridge. I have to say it's an honor to have you aboard."
All right, we'll stay out of the way.
All right. So you sail out into the somewhat stormy December sea, and as you're sailing along, you spend about a week on patrol, and then on a foggy December night, you hear a call of "sail ho" from the masthead, and then a drummer beats to quarters, and you are summoned up on deck, and you find a small. You see in the distance, very faintly because of the darkness, several sail, including one that appears to be a British sloop of war. And so we are now going to engage in a battle. This is going to be a mass battle between the two ships. However, if you have anything that you think you can do to assist in this mass battle, you are welcome to make that attempt. All right, so round one of the mass battle commences now. Would anyone like to do anything to assist the captain and or mess with the British?
Most definitely. I'd like to go down to the guns and just put my hands out and say, "Light them up, boys."
I would like to use any knowledge that I have of battle tactics for the moment to assist them with maneuvering and trying to lessen our tactics.
Okay. Anyone else?
Is Hunter's Path applicable in this case? I mean, would I be able to use this to get a better read on where the ships are, range, and that sort of thing?
Tracking on the water is possible, but you've got pretty clear. They've got enough visibility to fire cannon at them anyway, so not necessarily going to do them a whole lot of good here.
Okay. In that case, I will go down I'll stay up top on the top deck and prepare to use bolt as a ranged weaponry.
Okay. And Pet know it. Okay. Yeah.
Action.
Yeah, I don't think the Swamp Thing powers are going to do a whole lot of good for you here.
You can't make the sea,
Unless you're throwing me
you
at the
can't
other
make the
boat.
sea rise up.
Get in the cannon.
Okay, so I'd like a blast roll from Victoria.
All right. I'm going to
Okay.
roll that spending event.
And same thing, but that's okay. You do manage to connect with one of the smaller smuggling ships and do some damage. All right, then I would like a bolt roll from Artemis.
Okay, here comes.
Roll the bolt skill, please. Although,
I did.
no, you hit the power, not the skill.
Oh, oops. Well, all right. Sorry.
It's a pity because that was an awesome roll. But
That wasn't.
that's good too.
This is
Okay. And for Elijah, I'd like a battle roll at -1 because naval battle is not really your thing.
Okay. All right. So 4 + 1 be 3.
Okay, that's really not going to do much for you.
I'll go ahead and bet it at 1.
Okay,
Why not?
go for it.
Dang it. Okay, I'm just going to that one.
Okay. And then Clara attempts to boost trait on battle on the captain, but does not succeed.
Right.
So we'll get Captain Fisk's battle roll here. So he does quite well.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, someone did.
Now let's see how the British captain does. Not as well. All right, so the cannons are starting to fly here, and there are casualties happening on both sides as the ships start to close in on each other. And for those of you who fought on land, this is a strange experience because in one way, yeah, the battle is furious because cannons are firing constantly and there's damage coming in all the time. But the ships themselves are not that fast. So it's kind of this strange contrast between things moving like lightning and a very slow progression of the ships towards each other. Okay, so I would like so this will be the second round of combat. And I would like are you guys going to do the same thing, basically?
I am, yes.
All right,
Have we
so
gotten any closer?
you have closed in, but not close enough for melee, certainly.
Are there injured on our ship?
There are some injured sailors, yes.
Then I will do what I can to triage and bind wounds.
Okay.
You have healing.
Are we close enough that I can switch to the shooting? All I have is a pistol. I don't have a musket.
There are muskets available on the ship, so if you want to draw a musket and make a shooting roll, that is a possibility.
Okay, at this point I think I will switch from bolt to shooting.
Okay. All right, so let's start again. Blast roll from Bob, please. Very nice. All right. Shooting roll from Artemis. Okay.
There you go.
Well done.
And a battle roll from Elijah. You're just not this whole naval battle thing. It's just not sitting right with you. You just cannot figure out the tactics of it. You're trying to sort of observe what the captain is doing and see what you can do to help, but you're just completely baffled by all this maneuvering that he's doing.
In other words, it
I'll
doesn't
just say
float your
that I
boat.
am, very nice. I'm somewhat seasick. Motion sick.
Okay, this time Clara does manage to do a boost trait on the captain, so she manages to crank up his combat skill.
Right.
So he is now even more proficient, as well as getting the benefit of these attacks. So he does again quite well on the battle roll versus the enemy captain, who is distracted by trying to manage this whole fleet here. And again, does not do as well. So although he's fighting his own ship reasonably well, the need to cover all of these little smuggler ships, some of which you've already sunk, is definitely holding him back. All right, third round of the battle. Same actions. You're getting pretty close now. All right, last roll, please.
Yep. Is there any sort of point blank shot or being close up advantage going broadsides?
Not particularly in the mass battle system because it's more abstract. Yeah, each of these rounds is about an hour to 2 hours of battle.
Okay, so it's some serious back and forth slamming.
Hello.
Yowza. Okay.
Lovely.
Yeah, that'll help. Shooting roll, please. That will also help. You managed to. With that, I'm going to say you managed to pick off the first lieutenant of the sloop. And battle roll. Still not really getting it.
Oh, not my game.
Oh, nice.
All right, so let's see how Captain Fisk does with this one.
Solid.
Very. With the help from all of you, you've knocked off most of the smuggling ships now, and you're closing in and doing some serious damage to the sloop of war. But the British captain really gets his act together this time.
Oh, crap.
We got him on the
He manages to pull a sweet little maneuver and cross the T of the Tyrannicide, and a rolling broadside blast down the length of the ship, you're down to about half your original crew now. But Captain Fisk quickly brings the Tyrannicide alongside the enemy ship.
Boarding
action. All right. So here's how this works. The traditional way of winning a boarding action is to capture or kill the enemy captain. That's the lovely wig guy right here with the red outline that I'm highlighting.
All right.
Unfortunately, between you and him are quite a lot of British sailors. So we are going to start throwing some people into combat here.
Cool.
Captain Fisk.
Where am I?
You are down on the stern of the right-hand boat.
Okay.
All right, let's get, we got our encounter going. And let us begin. Round 1. Is that what I think it is? And a joker right away for Victoria.
Oh my.
Nice.
So that means bennies for everybody.
Yay, social Benny.
Win.
All right, so that also means you can go at any point you like during the course of the battle here.
Awesome.
Okay, so Victoria, would you like to go first, or are you going to wait and go whenever?
I'm going to go whenever. I think I want to
Okay.
go sort of middle of the round.
All right, then next up in the order is Clara, which I'm going to arbitrarily say she's going to hold action for a minute, and I'll jump her in later. So, Pet Know-It, you're up next.
Knock, jock, stage shift.
All right,
Let me see if I've set this up correctly here.
make the skill roll. That will not succeed.
Can I Benny that?
You absolutely can.
Yeah. Okay, I found the spend Benny button. Oh, I have 0 bennies apparently. Oh, shoot. I've spent 2 bennies because I clicked too fast.
Yep, I just gave you a back. I gave you one. You're all good.
Let's try that one more time.
You can also spend this round concentrating, and then you get a bonus on your state shift.
We'll try this once. Play with that next
All right. That's even worse. You want to move?
Oh,
you
my
can still
goodness.
move.
time. How close are the bows of the ships to each other, and are they at the same height?
They are at the same height. The ships are basically the same size. So you could, if you wished, leap across or run down to where they are directly touching and move across. Leaping across would be an athletics check. It would be bad if you failed. Running across down where the cannons are and they're nearly touching is not so bad. How do you want to play that?
I think I'm going to hold action.
Okay. That takes us to Clara.
I would like to dive. Well, let's see. I'm on a different ship,
Yes.
so leap over the edge because I'm full of confidence. And yeah.
All right. So I will need an athletics roll first for you to leap across.
Okay.
If you click on yourself, you can use the skill roll. Yep. All right.
Yep.
Yes, you easily leap your way across. You are now in the thick
Aha!
of things. And you've got a couple British soldiers right up in your business.
Yep. I've got a shield. I'm gonna bash him out of the way.
Bash at will. All right. So a 5 against the British sailor will hit.
Nice. Wow, there's a lag because I finally saw my roll come through. Okay. I'm assuming that's all I can do this round.
Yes, although your damage is very respectable.
Oh, nice.
So you basically jump across and you flatten this Brit here.
Okay.
So he is out.
He's
He
bashed.
is quite thoroughly bashed. Yes.
Good.
All right. Next up is Captain Fisk, who is going to fire one of his pistols at one of the British troops across the way, and completely fail to hit anything. He's a little too excited.
Ooh, that's bad.
I'd like to step next to him and take a blast at some of those other
Okay.
sailors near him.
So let's see, where you want to drop this blast?
Yeah, right around those two. Exactly.
Well, that whole side.
So you can hit pretty much everybody on the quarterdeck if you're successful.
Perfect. I'll Benny that.
I mean, it goes off. It goes off. It does work.
Can I make it nasty?
Potentially, yes. Like that.
Ooh.
That'll do.
There we go.
Good hit.
Lovely. Most excellent.
All right. Don't forget to spend your Benny over on the players thing, but that will then do 3d6 damage.
Nice.
Okay, so that's quite bad for them.
Boom goes the dynamite, huh?
Yep. So Captain Howe is shaken, and the sailors are all down.
Ooh, way to clear the way.
Yep. So you this fireball goes off, and it just devastates that entire quarterdeck. Sailors are dropping all over the place.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, the sailors are also now mad, and the only person they have immediate access to is
Easy
is
target.
Clara. Fortunately, where you jumped, you're in the break of the poop, as they say, which is a terrible sounding phrase, but it is what it's called.
Yeah.
So only 3 of them can come at you. The other guys are kind of all rushing over to prevent anybody else from trying to get across, except for this guy who's going to run up and try to tend to the captain. All right, so that's going to be 3 British sailors all trying to hit you with a cutlass.
Okay.
And they will get a +2 gang up bonus. All right, that's not going to hit.
Ride it out. Ride it out.
That's not going to hit.
Ride it out.
And that's not going to hit.
Wow.
So you were just whirling your shield around you, knocking these guys back in every direction. They're just blocking their cutlass attacks. They're just not able to lay a single blade on you. And it's frankly kind of scary.
Nice.
Perfect. Strike fear.
Okay, Artemis.
Yes.
I am going to leap over here onto the quarterdeck.
All right, I will need an athletics roll from you, which you succeed. So you leap across the gap, and you are on the quarterdeck. Oh, that's a big leap.
I don't know what the strike. All right, and I am going to use my pistol, and I'm going to shoot the captain.
Shooting roll, please.
Here comes. Got it?
Got it. That hits.
Cool. So that's a 2d6 plus 1.
Yep.
All right. What's the text for that? I don't know. I usually use the dice icon.
Yeah.
But what's the text?
Just
here?
do roll 2d6 plus 1. I'm demonstrating that now. Yeah, he's dead.
Cool. Battle 1. That fireball paved the way.
All right. So he goes down, and the crew, seeing that and seeing that they're facing off with superhumans, they immediately it's slash roll, just for future reference. The crew,
Let me just practice this. This isn't going to mean anything, but I want to practice it.
well, hopefully I'll have the icon straightened out for you guys next time.
It's going to be the name of
There
my
you go.
nerdcore band, by the way. Slash roll.
There you go.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah. Okay.
seeing their captain go down and their first officer already being below decks, badly injured, the British surrender, and the surviving senior non-commissioned officer hands his cutlass over to Captain Fisk, and you have captured the British ship, and in the process helped prevent the transfer of supplies into New York City, which will eventually allow Washington to capture it in relatively short order.
Huzzah!
There you go. Hey, go us.
So,
Too easy. I just have to break a sweat.
yep, you are now the proud owners of the sloop of war Glasgow.
Ooh.
Well, we'll have to give it a better name.
Definitely have to get a better name. And so, by the time you return to port, you find that Washington has occupied New York City. And as 1776 begins, the British have moved into position to potentially attack the city. but you have succeeded in paving the way for Washington's first major military struggle to attempt to hold Manhattan.
Terrific.
Nice.
Terrific.
You can follow Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website, happymonsterpress.com, Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow the podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music. The Happy Monster Cast is part of the Savage Worlds Media Network. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at www.peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, and characters, logos, and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press. Background music is Ice Cold by Jason Shaw.
Oh.